it's just another day at the gym for Big Wavy, isn't it? Fabio Romano is having no luck.
Lifting him like he's a bag of Sainsbury's shopping and cracking him down on that knee.
Back breaker. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Colosseum Wrestling, the finest professional wrestling in London, if I do say so. Myself, I'm of course Aaron, joined by the second time around Golden Retriever of Pro Wrestling and the finest colour commentator I'll ever have, of course, the legendary Connor. Connor, it's time for the culture, it's time for the 8-7 undefeated tag team in Colosseum.
It's my favourite number in professional wrestling, Aaron.
These guys are special. And by the way, the only other individuals other than myself, I do say so myself, who have been ever present on every single show.
In wrestling, you get the concept of pillars, foundations of a company, foundations of a promotion who are here showing, show out, putting on classics after classics. The definition of a pillar for Colosseum Wrestling is the 8-7.
Big Wavy, Roy Johnson, and of course, the Wolf of Brawl Street, the Multiversal champion, Alexander Roth. Together, the 8-7 is strong, and of course, we'll see one of their good friends and a member of the 8-7, Warren Banks, in your main event this evening. They'll be rooting for their boy, but they got to take care of business because, do you know what? The more wins you rack up, the more undefeated you are, the more pressure to continue that streak. Not that these boys feel pressure. It's tag team time for the undefeated 8-7, and let's be fair, there is no argument. The most dominant tag team Colosseum has ever seen.
The competition in Colosseum is so high that undefeated streaks are a bit of a rarity in this promotion, and one of the only teams to have an undefeated streak is the 8-7, and like you said, they are wanting to keep that alive here today.
Yeah, the 8-7 are as beautiful, as colourful, as powerful as it comes. The complete package of British tag team wrestling. You know what? I'm privy to a little bit of it. By the way, Roy Johnson, by the way, looking stacked, outrageous conditioning from Mr. Big Wavy himself. And I tell you what, they've said to me, they're getting a little bit up with makeshift tag teams, but unfortunately for them, they're getting another makeshift tag team of sorts. However, this is not a makeshift tag team in their home country. Over to Jesse for the announcement.
Gonna play Fabio Romano, the Lion of Rome, Adriano, they are Invictus!
Well, I wanted Jesse to announce it first, but I have a vested interest. I work very closely with a lot of Italian professional wrestlers. I'm very blessed I get the opportunity to do so, by the way. And Fabio Romano and Adriano Invictus. Yes, indeed, 24 carat and the line of Italian wrestling against the very, very best that this country has to offer in Big Wavy and Alexander Roth. And obviously, last time out, Fabio Romano having some serious problems, as you will have noticed at his last show, with his makeshift tag team partners, JD Knight and James Farrell. This time around, he has brought a genuine, honest and real friend, a genuine tag partner, his tag partner, Invictus, dominant in Roma, Italy. But will they be dominant here in the Colosseum? By the way, obviously, Italy synonymous with the Colosseum.
Absolutely, lineage and the Colosseum architecture will fit these guys very well, of course. And as we have said on the top of the program, that genuine bond between the two, and it just goes to show the depth of the Colosseum roster. We've talked about the talent coming from England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, and obviously in this instance, Italy.
This is a multiversal, a diverse culture like no other. We pride ourselves on having one of the most talented and diverse rosters, because representation doesn't mean anything without the talent to back it up. Fabio Romano has an opportunity here to make good on his last outing because he got a shellacking at the hands of the A7. However, that might play into Fabio Romano's advantage because he now has the playbook of what to expect from the A7. The only problem is that the playbook changes every single time the A7 has an opportunity. That is why they are the best in Europe.
And to be fair, in defence of Fabio as well, he was paired up with, let's face it, I don't want to say nothing too bad about his two previous partners.
I was going to say, JD Knight listens to every single one of these podcasts. Actually, quite a good friend of mine, JD Knight. So I would be very advised to watch your tone when speaking about a star, a stage and screen.
In that case, then, I will say that with Fabio, with a trusted friend, we'll see if he will have any better luck this time.
By the way, the Lord of Rome himself, Adriano, a very tall, very impressive individual, and a little bit of... How's your twerking action these days, Connor?
Well,
it's been a while since I've seen you twerking, young man.
It's been a while. I prefer doing a bit of a skank myself. But
see, I'm a truffle shuffle man myself.
Very good, very good.
Alexander Roth has got the hips, he's got the rhythm, of course, and he is just absolutely... When he's fired out of a cannon, there is nothing quite like watching Alexander Roth in full flight. And when you've got a jacked, stacked beast like Big Wavy at ringside, you can pretty much get away with whatever you please. Fabio Romano employing the headlock here, and this is very smart. He knows that when Roth gets kicking, when he gets cruising, he's going to be in serious trouble. And Fabio Romano, the one big problem here, as you know, let's be honest, let's address the elephant in the room. He is by far and away the smallest competitor on this roster. He is the smallest competitor in the ring. That's not to say he doesn't have a lot of heart. We thought he might have a bit of an attitude change after the last show. He was very, very disappointed with his showing, and he seemed very humble, but he's come back around this time, and frankly, there's a little bit more arrogance in him, and that's not going to work, is it?
Not quite.
We talked about the size differential, and there it is. And you would do well not to rile up a man from the streets like Alexander Roth.
Say what you want about Fabio, he's got a certain bravado about him to go face to face with the Wolf of Wall Street.
Have you ever met an Italian that didn't have bravado? These are a very bravado-esque culture. Oh, look out here. The pace going, look at that. Just put on the brakes and just steps over him with ease. Fabio thought he got one up on him, and like I said, the playbook changes when the multiversal champion is in the house, and a beautiful leapfrog goes for that sweep, and now Fabio Romano is going to have to build up pace and score with a drop kick. I mean, I don't want to be rude, but you don't really need a standing drop kick against Mr. 24 Carat, but nonetheless, Alexander Roth is going to give the people what they want, and I think the people might be clamouring for a bit of Big Wavy. Fancy yourself on a Wasteman challenge against Big Wavy?
I would not last a second.
Evisceration, I think, is the word for that. The man is as lethal with his tongue as he is with his biceps. And poor Fabio Romano, this is what happened last time, isn't it? He got isolated, and he frankly got taken advantage of by the A7 and a discus open hand right into the face of Fabio Romano.
I think what's important, though, is that Fabio is now doing this on his own terms. He's got every single advantage that he's picked his partner, he knows the time, he knows the place. But I mean, he would also know the 8-7, and he knows how good they are.
It's fair to say he was kind of Pearl-Harbored a little bit at the last show because he had these two men dumped upon him, and JD Knight and Joe Soro, by the way, incredible athletes in their own right, but Fabio was definitely the run to the litter in that matchup. This time out, he's had the opportunity to bring his friend Adriano to the party, but I'll tell you what, that is not a position anyone wants to be in, much less someone of his size. And look at it, he's manhandling him like a toy. He's literally like a soft toy in the hands of Big Wavy. It's just another day at the gym for Big Wavy, isn't it? Fabio Romano is having no luck.
Lifting him like he's a bag of Sainsbury's shopping and cracking him down on that knee.
Backbreaker. I can't believe you shop at Sainsbury's. Good for you in this climate, young man. And now looks like Adriano's going to get a trip to the woodshed as well. And that knee is going to be working overtime. And Man, Adriano broken in half and suffers the same fate as his partner, Fabio Romano. 24 carat is looking like zinc zirconia right now. And oh man, Roy Johnson, oh look at that. Very smart from Adriano. And Roy Johnson collided with that ring post.
Absolutely.
When you are the size of Roy Johnson, by the way, your shoulder going into the ring post, that does extra damage.
Absolutely. Adriano, for the first time he's been in the ring thus far, and he's used every single counter as advantage.
I want to say he's been, we're 2 minutes into his debut here at Colosseum, and he's already shown a cerebral mentality, and it looks like Invictus are rolling. And to be fair, we can talk about size differential and things like that, but they have tag team synergy. You need that when you are facing the A7. Do not be fooled by Fabio Romano's smaller stature. He is extremely technically efficient, training under the likes of Kareem Brigante, who, by the way, was trained by Harley Race, the greatest United States champion of all time.
The lineage carries on in that case then with Adriano. Big stomps into the corner there.
These Italians are world travellers as well. They don't just sit in their country and, you know, take it easy. They travel, they work, they thrive, they are hungry, and they are looking for excellence, and look no further than the Colosseum when it comes to excellence. And right now, I am amazed. It is, of all the people I thought would be isolated and in trouble, it was not Big Wavy Roy Johnson, who is easily the most dominant heavyweight in this matchup as far as the tail of the tape. But now that tag team synergy comes into effect. Adriano sends Fabio Romano into Roy Johnson in the corner.
I guess it can be argued, obviously, Roy Johnson, hulk of a man, physically, but when you have two people stomping on you, it doesn't matter how many muscles you may have, sometimes the numbers game will prove dividends in that case.
It's the power advantage though. Roy Johnson finding it a little bit easier to put the brakes on, and again blocking the suplex attempt by Adriano. And Fabio, oh look at that, just powers right through. Another day at the office for Roy Johnson, who now tags the Wolf of Brawl Street, and Alexander Roth is going to go to work. When the pace quickens, that Inzaguri is going to do damage. A snapmare takeover and a kick to the back, and now the senton right across the chest of Fabio Romano, and just like that, Alexander Roth is in control, and a snap slingshot German suplex on Adriano. Oh, super kick just getting in the ripcord knee, flattens Adriano, and oh, Fabio Romano coming in, blue thunder bomb.
Oh, I love the call of that, Aaron.
Yeah, I'm getting there. We're chasing you for the call. We really are. So he's still thinking about his Sainsbury shopping, ladies and gentlemen, but don't worry about it. The Wolf of Brawl Street has got plenty of shopping for you. And man, I'll tell you what, Roy Johnson looks incensed on the outside. I don't think he's impressed with that behaviour. Oh, and Adriano, that's smart. Try and ground the Wolf of Brawl Street. And Fabio Romano's got to take advantage of that, and he does with that forearm.
And that's what happens when you have a tag team partner who actually wants to help you out.
Tell you what, look at the difference. It's evident, isn't it? Look at how much better Fabio Romano looks. Also, his confidence. Look at his face. He's excited. He knows that he has a partner that is capable of doing damage. But again, the power game is really paying dividends to the A7, and that is why they are the only undefeated tag team. Look at the teams that they've beaten. Bred for Better, Joseph Connors and Riley Nova. They beat the Kings of the North from TT. They have literally beat KM Lane and Sami Zayn. They have run through them all.
The gambit here in Colosseum is a difficult one, but the 8-7 has proven time and time again they can get stuff done.
Fabio Romano paying dividends there on the outside. A little bit of a cheap shot, but I'll tell you what, if it goes undetected by a referee, then it doesn't matter.
It's interesting, when Fabio had this match, I felt a little bit of sympathy for him going out for it, but I guess it shows the kind of character where he's like, I'm not going to blame the people who have wronged me, I'm going to blame the team who beat me.
Who am I to deny him if the results are actually on display? And right now, the results have shown he's in a far better position than he was last time out. And look at the power from Fabio Romano!
Oh, with a lariat
inside
back
out, sidewalk slam, and the lariat, and oh my god, and oh man, and this is, I'll tell you what though, Alexander Roth, I've never seen a man who can absorb more punishment. He is quite literally limitless in heart and desire and fight. One of the finest wrestlers I have ever seen in Britain. And when you're backed up by one of the preeminent powerhouses in, wow, beautiful suplex there, Fabio Romano showing off his strength here. At low center of gravity, able to pop those hips and apply a suplex to the Wolf of Brawl Street. Adriano seems to be extremely happy with what he's seeing, and why not? Invictus is rolling
And let's
in
not
the
forget,
Colosseum.
this is Adriano's debut as well. Kind of like, it's a mixture of feeling happiness for his friend and wanting to defend his friend, but also wanting to make an impression on the Colosseum audience.
Absolutely, and to be fair, this is the first time since Bredford Better that the 87 are challenging a genuine tag team with some tag team synergy. And oh wow, and Adriano caught coming in with a boot flush in the face, and now here goes Roth. Crossbody caught! Tell you what, look at the power on display from Adriano, the Lord of Rome, and a beautiful black hole backbreaker, an Italian curse of sorts, and that has just flattened the Wolf of Brawl Street with just a 2 count. And oh, look at that, all over him, stopping the tag. That's smart tag team wrestling there. 2 individuals who maybe are making up a tag team may not have had the intelligence to stop the tag being made there.
All roads lead to Rome, but we'll see if Adriano's road leads him to victory here at Colosseum.
Very nicely done. Roy Johnson is absolutely brimming on the outside. That man has had a chance to get fresh. He is ready to go. And the meat of the matter is desperate to get a tag and put a hurting on Invictus.
Again, keeping him grounded.
Oh, wow. Just, you know what? I'll tell you what, the referee picked up on the head. He's got to be very careful. The referees are not lenient here at Colosseum. Not for the most part, at least. But just very smart cutting off Alexander Roth.
Getting him back into Invictus's corner there.
That's exactly what you do in tag team wrestling. You isolate your partner, you bring them into no man's land, which is your corner. Create separation. And look what he's doing. Standing between Roy Johnson and the ability to tag. That is very intelligent tag team wrestling. Whether you like the methods or not, there is a great deal of intelligence behind that.
100%. 100%. The intelligence with the big slap in the corner there, tagging back in.
Roth trying to block it. Oh, wow, now Roth trying to fight his way out. And Fabio Romano with a little cheap shot there, undetected by our referee, and now just laying the liver in here. There's nothing fancy about this. Pack mentality, which, by the way, is something that the A7 made their name on.
Absolutely.
Oh, wow. Gutbuster and then dropping the elbow, just forcing the stomach.
Look how Roy's reaching out, not quite there, 2 counts.
Yeah, but he is close. Oh, look out, look at that. And I'll tell you what, Fabio Romano, literally, if he hadn't grabbed him when he did, that would have been a tag. And Roth is so close to making a tag. Oh, wow, did you see that? And I'll tell you what, he might have gone undetected to somebody, snapped the knuckles, and he could have potentially broken that finger of Alexander Roth. And now a violent neck breaker right across the knee.
Never again.
Jarring the neck, jarring the vertebrae. It's not just the head and neck, it is also the entire upper body which suffers. The body needs the spine to work. And when it is debilitated like that, people like Alexander Roth are going to be in trouble. And look at that, employing a classic cravat hold around the neck, wrenching away at the neck of Alexander Roth is Fabio Romano, but Roth is out again.
Almost reaching out.
Look at that, that's got to be a tag. And oh man, and Roth, I think he could have made a tag, but he opted for a strike there instead. Now, look, you see on Roth, he's pretty much out on his feet. He is gassed right now. And the power of, do you know what, Fabio Romano continues to impress every time I see this young man. He might have had a change of heart, but I tell you what, his ability has not changed whatsoever.
It's a pitbull mentality when it comes to Fabio Romano. As you said, maybe not the biggest, but certainly the most tenacious.
I liken him to the Gattuso of professional wrestling, the great holding role midfielder of Italian fame, and of course, just like Gattuso, that pitbull mentality, that ability to find strength even in the smaller stature, and Fabio Romano has that in abundance. And Adriano just buries his knee right into the face of Alexander Roth.
Cover it.
At some point, Alexander Roth's gas tank is going to run out, and you can see tell you what, the colour has left his face a little bit. He is really struggling to suck in air right now. He's been putting in a shift. He's been in there a long time, and he needs to get big Wavy. The Enziguri creates separation with Fabio Romano. Immediately gets a tag, and Alexander Roth doesn't even have the strength to make a tag, but he's trying to push off Fabio Romano. He's got to make a tag. Things are going to get really, really difficult for Alexander Roth if he doesn't. Very, very soon. Oh, look at that, creating beautiful separation. And
Sister Abigail!
Oh, a beautiful tribute to the fallen brother of the Wyatt family. And just like that, room has been created, and now he can make the tag.
Yes, he can with style.
Look out, he comes big Wavy, just crashes right through with that forehand to Adriano. Fabio Romano was quite literally an entree, and he just plowed right through him. Oh boy, and Fabio Romano goes into the midsection, and now that's not going to get it done, kid. I'm sorry. that nobody is outpowering Big Wavy in that scenario. Look out, he's got it cooked and ready, and a lariat to boot right across the shoulder, right across the face of Fabio Romano as he builds up a head of steam. Flapjack!
A freshly baked flapjack at that.
Boy, a steaming pile of oats, and you need oats if you're going to power lift like this, man. Did you see that lariat, by the way?
Back of the head as well.
Yeah.
Back of the head.
That is a nasty, nasty collision. May not be legal in UFC, but it sure as hell is here in professional wrestling. And a big clothesline. Look out at the freight train. The boombox is picking up steam. And Fabio Romano
collision
coming in.
Snapmare out there.
Beautiful stuff. And wow, a flying forearm again, right into the back of the neck. And Big Wavy knows what he's doing. Debilitating the head and the neck. And wow, the mic check flattens Fabio Romano. Is that going to be enough? And the Lord of Rome, Adriano, just saving Fabio
The height
Romano.
advantage of Adriano coming in there with that big leap, able to break up the pin.
You're implying that Fabio Romano is not big enough to break up the pin, is that what you're saying?
I don't want to get on the bad page of Fabio Romano either.
I'll tell you what, he's as scrappy as he is resilient, but he's getting waylaid right now. Oh my God, a flying ripcord knee by Alexander Robb. He was in the rafters. Oh my God, pop up. And now just a lariat across the back in the tag team synergy in the 87. And this is why they are undefeated. But Fabio Romano, as we saw last time out, the heart and desire is still there despite the attitude change, and he's able to get out before free.
Absolutely.
I think things are going to take a turn for the worse here, and he's getting him up for the torture rack. Look at the ease at which he's got Fabio Romano up like he's outstanding. Oh my God, tilt-a-well powerbomb combination from the 8-7. Is that going to be enough? Look out, Adriano is on the outside, able to break up the forward. Roy Johnson, to be fair, took his eye off the ball slightly there, wasn't paying attention to Adriano, who was in his periphery.
But then that's where stamina and fatigue does come in matches like this, particularly big impact matches.
Adriano with the reverse sends Alexander Roff to the outside, and now it's 2-on-1, and this is what they need. They need to isolate the big man, but not afford to let him build up a head of steam, and that's certainly not going to help. And there's a very loose tag, but a tag nonetheless for Invictus. Look to be looking at thumbs up, thumbs down. The Emperor's Way has just connected that rising knee lift in the face of Adriano, and is that going to be an oh my God, a 4-8-7? We're going to be handed their first loss at the Colosseum. What a story that would be if Invictus knocked off the 8-7.
Credit to the other tag teams that we've seen here thus far against the 8-7, but I've never seen the 8-7 this on the ropes in such a long time.
You call it well, sir. Legitimately, Invictus have given them fits like no other tag team. To think that they've caused more problems than Joseph Connors and Riley Nova, that speaks volumes about the credibility of Invictus here. Oh my God, a headbutt flush on the chin. He just got rocked. Oh, look how bounce! Alpha male Monty Brown will be proud of that one. Look how Alexander Roff has sent to the rafters, and you're feeling froggy, pal. The frog splash. Big Wavy is the legal man. The 8-7 keeps on rolling.
At 2-8-7.
Invictus no more.
Taking nothing away from Invictus. That is the best I've seen. I've had the pleasure of seeing Fabio Romano. This is one of my favorite matches of his thus far. Adriano, it's always a pleasure to see him as well, but today belongs to the 8-7. I hope we see Invictus again. To have these tag teams here is a pleasure, but as said, the undefeated streak keeps on rolling.
The 8-7, the only undefeated prospect in tag team wrestling in Colosseum. Man, there is no stopping the 8-7.